من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب، وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه، قليل مكثه يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته، فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل الوقوع المكاره فيها وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي، فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين، يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو ولما منها أضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته أم لطول البلاء ومدته، فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وهبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك، أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك، فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولا أنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية أمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته وحبس بين أطباقها بحجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك، يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك، أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك، أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه، أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه، أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه، أم كيف تزجره وزبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رباه، أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها، هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك، فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعظيم جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا، وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها، وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته، وكل ذنب أذنبته، وكل قبيح أسررته، وكل جهل عملته، كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي، وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلته، أو إحسان فضلته، أو بر نشرته، أو رزق بسدته، أو ذنب تغفره، أو خطأ تستره. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. It's last Thursday of the Ramadan. Say Ya Rabbi, please, brothers. أحسنتم. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة، وبخدمتك موصولة، وأعمالي عندك مقبولة، حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا، وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي، يا من عليه معولي، يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، يا ربي يا ربي يا رب، قوي على خدمتك جوارحي، واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي، وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك، حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين، وأسرع إليك في البارزين، وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين، وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين، وأخافك مخافة الموقنين، وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد، ومن كادني فكد، واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، وجد لي بجودك، واعطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتك، وأقلني عثرتي واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا رب نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا رب مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقت من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا، اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء. يا سابغ النعام يا دافع النقام، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Today I think we have iftar by Brother Ilyas and family. Is that correct? Yes. So our brightful, cheerful face of this majlis, may we recite Fatiha for his marhumeens and all the marhumeen around the world. Al-Fatiha. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Qari'ah. Mal-Qari'ah. وما أدراك ما القارئة يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالإهن المنفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار حامية. صلوات. Surah Fatiha, please.
Next. Our future Qari here. به ساحت مقدس ابقیت الله صلوات بفرمایید.
Inshallah, if we can request sisters if they want to come and join the discussion, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Salawat. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. So, Alhamdulillah, it's the last lecture. You can all rejoice, inshallah. So you don't have to tax your minds anymore, inshallah. But I really thank you for your participation, and I have learned from your questions, mashallah. And inshallah, may we all learn together, inshallah.
And we will miss your lectures as well.
No, shukran, no. I will miss all of you, and I'll say my personal thoughts on Eid, what I have learned from Baab-Ul-Ilm family, inshallah. Inshallah. No. No, but Barai Tariq by Barai Shuma. No. بيخشي؟ لا إن زبان الشيريني هست درست؟ Yeah, inshallah.
شما شیرین هستی.
نه شما نمیدونید که نفس من چیه یعنی inshallah. Inshallah, I want to wrap up in the next 15 to 20 minutes just this issue of reading and writing of Rasulullah, but specifically I want to deal with the further accusation Rasulullah received and how he dealt with it. To conclude yesterday's point, and we had a good discussion, especially Kawarbai made a very good point about how he reconciled that, the family of Abdul Muttalib, Abu Talib, as an educated family, how could the Prophet not read? But as I gave a response, which I will give a specific response from our Shia ulama, how they see this, why could the Prophet not read or write before Wahi? And I'm quoting, this is mentioned in Majm al-Bayan by Allama Tabrisi rahmatullah alayh, and he quotes Sharif al-Murtada, our famous classical scholar, and this is their argument. He says, the Prophet did not read or write before Wahi, because if he did, the disputers would have criticized him that he simply copied the Quran and the earlier books. That's the majority stance of Shia scholars, okay? Then he quotes Sharif al-Murtada, who states, before prophethood he could not read or write, but after it he was permitted to have knowledge of reading and writing, again for the same reason that people would have criticized him. Moreover, he says, the prophets and the imams, A'immah, are the bearers of the highest knowledge. So he gives, and this is similar to your point, but he says after Wahi, not before Wahi. He says that the Prophet, as a bearer of ilm, has to be a teacher, has to be able to teach people, right? But that is after Wahi, okay? Then we come to this third point, which I myself found very interesting. He says, the people in the Prophet's time, they also criticized him for another thing. They said, if you are really a prophet, where is your miracle? Where is your mu'jiza? Where is it? Where, Prophet Musa alayhi salam had a miracle of refuting the magic, and he brought the staff which turned into a serpent, or he parted the seas. Or they said, oh Muhammad, you're not really a prophet. Okay, raise this dead person and make him alive like Prophet Isa did. I challenge you. Now can you imagine our beloved Prophet in this society, he's claiming to be a prophet, and yet apparently he can't do these things. Can you see that? Now imagine, the Prophet knows that of course he's a prophet, and he has to, it's like, when you, in a program or in a play, you're given the last act, the last scene, you have to follow the person behind you. It's, it's the last slot, you are the last prophet, you have to prove yourself. He's Prophet Musa alayhi salam, Prophet Isa alayhi salam, grand prophets, Prophet Nuh built an ark. Now our beloved Prophet is there in this society. What can he show? How does the Prophet justify to people that he is a prophet? Do you see this biggest challenge now, right? So, the reason Sharif al-Murtada gives is very interesting. He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala determines the appropriate miracle for prophets, and the miracle of the Prophet was the Quran, which differed from the miracles before. Why? Because the miracle of the Quran came to do with its lugha or language, its origin. We've dealt with the origin because Prophet couldn't read or write, and therefore at the end of the day he could not have copied the books. We've dealt with that. And its contents, which we have also dealt with, the fact that he predicted future events or stages of the embryo and such things. Then Sharif al-Murtada says, the miracle of the Quran that the Prophet brought in terms of the language, the Arabic language, was unmatched in his own time and is still unmatched today. So today, if people wanted to reproduce a Quran, they couldn't do it, and they haven't done it. Otherwise, we would have seen it. We would have even said, oh, we would have compared, our scholars would have compared the Arabic, but so far there hasn't been one, right? Then he concludes by saying, every prophet came with an art, and every prophet came with an art to his own people, which was appropriate for them. Now, how do we understand this? Is this a convincing argument? You know, it's an argument from a respected grand scholar, no problem. We also have to reflect on it. Does it hold up now 10 centuries onwards? His argument is, look, at the end of the day, God determines the appropriate miracle for the Prophet. 2, that miracle relates to the people. And 3, that miracle has to be unmatched in his own time and the other times. One possible refutation is to say, well, okay, this is fine. Okay, the Quran has beautiful Arabic and is unmatched. But then we can still say, but, you know, healing somebody that's blind and raising somebody from dead, how do you challenge that? Why can't people still today say that our beloved Prophet is not really a prophet because Prophet Isa is greater? He came with a greater miracle. Okay, Prophet Musa parted the seas. That's a grander miracle. So how do we compare miracles? Do you see the problem, everybody? Yes? Okay. Then Sharif al-Murtada quotes the following hadith, which is quoted by Ayatul Akhui Marhum in Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran, as well as Tafsir al-Mizan and in Majm al-Bayan. So this is a hadith from Al-Kafi, volume 1, page 24 to 25. And inshallah this will maybe help answer it for you. It's a hadith from our dear 8th Imam, Imam Ali ibn Musa Raza alayhi salam. Somebody asked the 8th Imam, you know, can you explain to me why there were different miracles in the different prophets' time? Exactly the debate that we are having. And this was our beloved 8th Imam's response. He said, Inna Allah lamma ba'atha Musa كان الغالب على أهل عصره السحر فأتاه من عند الله بما لم يكن في وسعهم مثله وما أبتل بسحرهم وأثبت به الحجة عليهم. So, 8th Imam responds in saying that Prophet Musa was sent at a time when what was prevalent amongst the people was magic. You all remember the stories? Fir'aun tells the magicians, oh look, Musa, you're not really a prophet, I've got my magicians, remember? And then he calls Prophet Musa and he lays down the stick, okay, which really turns into a serpent, not the fake magic of the magicians. So what happened is then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa with a power that they, that is the magicians of the people of the time, did not have the capability of overpowering. Prophet Musa's power, abtala bisihrahim, it invalidated their magic with his power. And that proved to be a hujjah, a proof or authority over them. Right? So this is very important. The only reason you can say Prophet Musa came with the miracle to refute the magic was because magic was prevalent. Do you see that? Maybe Prophet Musa's power could have been different, but at that time, magic and magicians was very, very important to people. Even you can say today, I mean, you watch, Britain's Got Talent and all these programs, there's a lot of magic shows there, right? And people are absolutely mesmerized. Even you look on the television, you're mesmerized by it. How did they do this? But there is a difference. Today, people can use science to disprove the magic that's on Britain's Got Talent. I mean, you can find a reason for it. So that's why we are generally people, I would say, don't worship magic, although witchcraft does exist, and there are people who still, you can say, use jinns for particular magic. Now that's another discussion, right? But there are still groups today that are pagans and do believe in witchcraft. That's another discussion. But on the whole, the people generally disprove it through science. Fine. What about Prophet Isa alayhi salam? What happened in Prophet Isa's time? So, again, I'll do it in English because of time. Prophet Isa was sent at a time when what was apparent in the people was chronic illnesses. So at that time there was a lot of illness. So Prophet Isa came with a power to heal people, and therefore he raised the people from the dead and healed the blind, and therefore proved to people the authority of his prophethood and the authority of his power. So again, look at the difference here. If in Prophet Isa's time we were living and Prophet Musa came and said, oh look, I've got a staff and it does magic, or kind of like magic I should say, perhaps people wouldn't care, because they say we are ill, we are blind, we need people to heal us. So Prophet Isa came when his mu'ajiza, his miracle was relevant, and that power healed people. So you see Sharif Murtaza's argument, the prophets are coming with an appropriate miracle to respond to their time and establish the authority of prophethood. But now what about our beloved prophet? So Prophet Muhammad came at a time when the art of oration and poetry was very, very prevalent. So that is shi'r. Shi'r is poetry. And you know that, and Ayatollah Khouy mentioned this in his book, that the poets were so competitive that they used to hang or nail their poetry to the Kaaba and say, look at my poetry. And they used to stand there and recite it. It was a competition. Just as today, the film industry is a huge competition. Who's number one at the box office? Who's going to get the rates? Who's going to get the Oscars? Similar thing, the poetry was the industry at that time. So what did Prophet Muhammad come with? Allah says that Prophet Muhammad, what did he bring? Mawa'idha wa hikmah. Mawa'idha means moral exhortation or guidance, and hikmah means wisdom. So Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, came at a time where the poetry was giving guidance to people, but guidance about what? About idols, about praising Lat and Uzza, about praising the Arab practices, and some of the Arab practices were immoral, burying of the female babies, being rich. The poetry was mesmerizing, that when people listened to it, they thought that these traditions and values are important. Just as when you watch a film today. When you watch a film, you are captivated by the film. And whether we like it or not, that film subconsciously influences us. You know, whether it's superheroes, whether it's the Marvel universe, even when you watch football, we want to be like a footballer. So okay, some things are good, some things are bad. So then it's a mixture. How do you know what is right or wrong? Our beloved Prophet therefore came with moral exhortations and wisdom in order to guide people as to what is true, so they're not confused by idol worship or immoral values. Do you see that? Those moral exhortations and wisdom is in the Quran. So when he recited the verses, our beloved Prophet proved himself to be an authority to them, because the Arabic was unmatched, yet it contained wisdom. And not only that, it proved the miracle of the Quran, because the miracle of the Quran till today has not been matched. Salawat. Okay, we have maybe 2 minutes left, I think. 2 minutes? Okay. Do you see the argument logically, everybody? I'll pause there. Do you have any thoughts about this before ending? Maybe from the sisters. Have I tied up the lecture series neatly, hopefully? Yeah? So I'm just saying, hopefully you see that when we say mu'ajiza, coming from ajaza ya'ajizu, ajaza ya'ajizu means, ajaza means he is incapable or he is weak to do something. So a mu'ajiza comes when people of that time are incapable of producing the Arabic and producing the contents of the Arabic. So miracle in Islam is twofold. One, to show that something cannot be reproduced in that time, and also to show the authority of the one bringing the miracle, which is the Prophet. So that is why, inshallah, hopefully you see that reading and writing was not a conventional skill. The Prophet did not require it, It protected him and it produced the miracle of Rasulullah. Salawat, please. I will end there. Jazakallah for your participation, but I'll extend my thanks more so on Eid. May Allah bless you all, and please can we end with a Surah Al-Fatiha for all mu'minun marhumin and the ill and oppressed. Surah Al-Fatiha, please. There's a beautiful ladybird here. Is this the sign of Eid? It's here. One more day left. It's a mu'jiza. Follow the mu'jiza.
Salawat. Muhammad. Thank you, Sheikh, for those beautiful talks, mesmerizing talks, where we certainly learned a lot more than perhaps we had initially known. So thank you for that. Like Tariq Bhai said, today's iftar has been sponsored by Rabia Auntie and the ladies and Ilyas uncle sitting back there. Can I request you all to recite Surah Fatiha for the marhumeens of Rabia, Hassan, Abid Ali and Ilyas Ismail Sharif Ali's families. Can I also request you all to recite Surah Fatiha for Maroon Shabir Hussain Ramani, who passed away, it's death anniversary, who passed away during these nights in Ramzan. Fatiha. Tomorrow there will be a program. Sheikh wrapped up his lecture today because tomorrow we'll have a quiz. And the quiz is divided into 3 sections. The first section is on what Sheikh has recited, so it's going to be a test for us. Did we understand and hear what Sheikh was saying? So that will be the first part. Then Tariq Bhai has got some questions on Quran, and there will be some general knowledge questions. So it'll be ladies against the gents, so please make sure we have the strong teams. So all those people who are who've listened tentatively to Sheikh, make sure you come. And those people who are good at general knowledge, make sure you're here. And we've got Tariq Bhai here anyway, so we should be okay with that. So alhamdulillah, you know, we should be strong. We should have a strong team, inshallah. We also, like normally we do on the last day of Ramzan, is that we all do a potluck iftar. Potluck is that everyone brings their own dish to accommodate for about 5 people, and then we'll all sit down and we all share. So all the gents get in the kitchens and make a dish that we can all sort of share together. So please do that.
So
if
does
you
cheese sandwich count? Like, I can do that. I can make nice sandwich.
You know, well, HFC chicken and chips is about 12 pounds for a full chicken. You know, you can arrange that as well. So 4 pieces in that. So if anyone wants to, you know, bring that, then we can get some of those. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. Inshallah, Eid for Agassiz, the followers of Agassiztani, it will be on Saturday, inshallah. However, for those who follow Muqalladeen, which suggests that the new moon is sighted when a moon is sighted in a certain place and you share the night with that particular country, we won't know until early hours of this morning, because there are chances that the moon can be sighted in Southern America. So we'll have to wait. So just keep a check on your mobile phones. If there is a sighting, then it will be broadcast on the broadcast group. Inshallah, I think that's it. Yes, there will be. So tomorrow, inshallah, after the iftar, we'll do the Eid night amals, inshallah. How long are they, Sheikh?
It's short.
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll have that, inshallah, tomorrow night. Yeah. Thank you. Salawat.